Hello everyone. Welcome back to our journey of cognitive mastery. We have talked about systems, models, and the flow state. But there is a silent variable that determines whether these tools actually work: your energy. Most of us have been conditioned to manage our time. We use calendars, to-do lists, and timers. We believe that if we can just squeeze more hours out of the day, we will be more productive. But time is a finite resource. Energy, however, is a renewable one. Have you ever noticed that you can spend 2 hours working on a task you love and feel energized, but spend 30 minutes on a task you hate and feel completely drained? This is because the quality of your output is not determined by how many hours you spend, but by the amount of cognitive energy you bring to those hours. In today's shadowing session, we will explore the science of cognitive endurance. We will dive into the biology of brain fatigue, the secret of ultradian rhythms, and the art of strategic recovery. Prepare your mind for a reset. Let us learn how to manage the fuel of your intellect. Part 1. The myth of the 8-hour workday. The traditional 8-hour workday is a relic of the Industrial Revolution. It was designed for factory workers performing repetitive physical tasks. But cognitive work, the kind of work that requires deep thought, creativity, and language learning, does not operate on a linear scale. Your brain is the most energy-expensive organ in your body. While it represents only 2% of your body weight, it consumes 20% of your total energy. When you engage in high-level cognitive tasks, your brain burns through glucose and oxygen at an incredible rate. This leads to a state known as decision fatigue. Every choice you make, every complex sentence you construct, and every problem you solve drains your mental battery. By the time you reach the afternoon, your ability to focus declines, your patience thins, and your decision-making becomes impulsive. The secret to peak performance is not to fight this fatigue with more caffeine or willpower. The secret is to stop treating your brain like a machine and start treating it like a biological system that requires rhythmic oscillation between effort and recovery. Part 2. The power of ultradian rhythms. While most people know about circadian rhythms, the 24-hour sleep-wake cycle, few are aware of ultradian rhythms. These are shorter cycles that occur throughout the day, typically lasting about 90 minutes. For approximately 90 minutes, your brain can maintain a high level of focus and alertness. But after this peak, your brain enters a trough, a period of lower energy where your focus wavers and your cognitive load becomes too heavy. This is the biological window of the flow state. If you try to push through the trough, you are fighting your own biology. You experience brain fog, and your productivity plummets. But if you honor the rhythm, you can achieve more in 4 hours of focused work than most people do in an entire day. The key is the strategic break. A 20-minute period of total detachment, no phone, no emails, no complex thoughts, allows your brain to flush out metabolic waste and replenish its glucose levels. By aligning your work with your ultradian rhythms, you turn your day into a series of high-intensity peaks and deep recoveries. You no longer work against your brain, you work with it. Part 3. The cost of context switching. One of the greatest thieves of cognitive energy is context switching. This happens every time you jump from one task to another, checking a notification in the middle of a study session, or answering a quick email while writing a report. You might think that you are multitasking, but your brain is actually performing rapid switching. Each time you switch, you pay a switching cost. A part of your attention remains stuck on the previous task, a phenomenon known as attention residue. This residue clutters your mental workspace. It increases your cognitive load and drains your energy far faster than the task itself. It is like trying to run a high-end software program while 50 other tabs are open in the background. Your system slows down, and eventually it crashes. To protect your cognitive endurance, you must practice single tasking. By dedicating a block of time to one single activity, you eliminate the switching cost. You allow your brain to dive deep into the subject, reaching a state of efficiency where the work becomes effortless. The most productive people are not those who do the most. They are those who do one thing at a time with absolute intensity. Part 4, the protocol of deep recovery. The final piece of the puzzle is the quality of your recovery. Most of us relax by scrolling through social media or watching television. But this is not recovery, it is passive stimulation. Your brain is still processing information, still reacting to triggers, and still consuming energy. True cognitive recovery requires active detachment. This means engaging in activities that allow the prefrontal cortex to go offline. Activities like walking in nature, mindful breathing, or non-sleep deep rest, NSDR, are the most effective ways to recharge. When you step away from screens and enter a state of sensory softness, your brain switches from the task-positive network to the default mode network. This is where the brain consolidates memories, integrates new learning, and solves problems in the background. As you practice your English today, treat this session as a form of cognitive endurance training. Focus on the rhythm, embrace the effort, but also respect the pauses. Fluency is not just about the energy you put in, but about how you recover. When you manage your energy, you don't just work better, you live better. We have reached the end of our session on cognitive endurance. I hope you now see that your energy is your most precious asset. Remember, the goal is not to be a machine that never stops, but to be a human who knows when to push and when to pause. The most successful people are not those who work the longest hours, but those who manage their energy with the most precision. If this session helped you understand your brain better, please leave a like and subscribe to our community of high performers. I would love to hear in the comments, what is your favorite way to truly unplug and recharge your mental energy? Thank you for your focus, your discipline, and your beautiful presence. Stay energized, stay balanced, and I will see you in the next session. Goodbye.